Have you ever felt the subtle, creeping exhaustion that comes from perpetually putting others first? That persistent whisper in the quiet moments, asking, when is it my turn? You've dedicated years, perhaps decades, to nurturing, supporting, fixing, and always understanding. You've been the anchor, the therapist, the unpaid strategist, the emotional architect of countless lives, meticulously building a world where everyone else thrives, often at the unseen expense of your own vitality. This isn't just fatigue, it's the insidious effect of a deeply ingrained tyranny, a silken cord woven into the very fabric of how women are taught to exist. It's the tyranny of care. It's when your inherent capacity for empathy, your boundless generosity, your instinctive yes, transmuted into an invisible prison. You find yourself trapped by the very virtues society applauded, praised, and ultimately exploited. You are told to be patient, to be understanding, to be the bigger person, to wait your turn. You were programmed to believe that quiet suffering was a noble path, that loyalty would somehow, eventually, magically be rewarded, that karma, or some ethereal cosmic balance, would swing back in your favor. Let me shatter that illusion here and now. This gentle poison, this societal narcotic, has lulled you into a dangerous complacency. The world, in its raw, unfiltered truth, rarely rewards quiet suffering. Loyalty, particularly unquestioning loyalty, is often viewed not as a virtue, but as a predictable weakness, a resource to be consumed. Power is not given. It is taken, it is seized. And your turn? Your turn only arrives when you, yourself, decide to claim it, with the cold, calculating precision of a strategist, not the hopeful vulnerability of a supplicant. We are not here to discuss shallow self-help or to validate the emotional melodrama of victimhood. We are here to declare a war against ingenuousness, a total unyielding war against the naive belief systems that have rendered you susceptible, drained, and unseen. This is not about becoming heartless. It is about becoming sovereign. It is about understanding the true Machiavellian mechanics of influence, of relationships, of power dynamics, and reclaiming your rightful place not as the tireless caretaker, but as the architect of your own unyielding destiny. Consider the narrative woven around you since childhood, the good girl archetype, the expectation to be agreeable, to smooth over rough edges, to prioritize harmony above personal conviction. This isn't accidental. It is a deliberate, culturally reinforced blueprint designed to create a specific kind of woman, one who manages the emotional landscape for everyone else, thereby freeing others to pursue their ambitions unfettered. Think of the stories, the songs, the advice from well-meaning elders. Don't rock the boat. He'll come around. Just be patient. Your reward is in heaven. This is the foundational lie of voluntary servitude, as Etienne de la Boétie so eloquently described. We are not forced into this role by an external tyrant alone. We often consent to it, even embrace it, driven by a deep-seated fear of rejection, of not being loved, of being deemed too much. We fear the loneliness of the sovereign, forgetting that true power resides in solitude and self-possession. This deep-seated programming creates a fundamental miscalculation in your internal operating system. You've been running on an outdated algorithm where emotional investment equals guaranteed return. You believe that if you pour your heart, your time, your wisdom into others, they will reciprocate, or at the very least, appreciate you. But the world, my dear, is not a balanced ledger of emotional contributions. It is a market. And in this market, the most valuable currencies are those that are scarce: unyielding boundaries, strategic detachment, and the ruthless allocation of your finite energy. Let's dismantle the illusion of loyalty as a reward system. Loyalty, when it is unexamined and unconditional, transforms from a noble trait into a liability. It makes you predictable. It makes you exploitable. The individuals who consistently benefit from your unflagging loyalty are often those who offer the least in return. They become accustomed to your unwavering presence, your emotional labor, your quiet reliability. They do not value it because they do not have to earn it. They see it as an entitlement, a fixed resource that will always be there, like the air they breathe. And when you finally reach your breaking point, when you dare to falter, to ask for what you need, you are often met not with empathy, but with irritation, confusion, or even outright anger. Why are you changing now? They might ask. You've always been so understanding. This is precisely where the Machiavellian perspective becomes not just useful, but essential for your survival and flourishing. Machiavelli understood that the world operates on pragmatism, not sentimentality. He did not advocate for cruelty, but for a clear-eyed assessment of reality, devoid of wishful thinking. For you, this translates to an urgent need to replace emotional reaction with cold, strategic calculation. This isn't about becoming a villain, it's about becoming an empress. An empress does not govern her kingdom by whim or fleeting sentiment. She governs by foresight, by understanding alliances, by assessing threats, and by protecting her resources, paramount among them, her own energy and peace of mind. The first step in this transformation is to cultivate the magnificent weapon of detachment. Imagine your emotions not as uncontrollable forces, but as tools. Some are valuable for connection, for deep intimacy, for genuine joy. But others, like unchecked anger, festering resentment, or paralyzing fear of disapproval, are liabilities. They cloud your judgment, they drain your reserves, they make you susceptible to manipulation. Detachment is not about becoming numb. It is about creating an inner sanctuary, a fortress of self where you can retreat to observe, to analyze, to plan, without the immediate, overwhelming tide of external pressures or internal emotional storms. When you learn to observe without immediately reacting, you begin to see the patterns. You see who drains you and who genuinely nourishes you. You identify the emotional vampires who feast on your self-sacrifice, and the energy auditors who only ever demand deposits without making withdrawals of their own. This observation, uncolored by immediate emotional pain, allows you to make strategic decisions. It enables you to say no, not from a place of guilt or exhaustion, but from a position of informed power. Your no becomes a boundary, a declaration of sovereignty, a non-negotiable statement about the value of your time, your energy, your very essence. Think of your life as a precious diamond, multifaceted and strong, but vulnerable to being chipped away by constant, uncompensated demands. Every yes that goes against your inner knowing, every burden you willingly shoulder that isn't yours, every sacrifice you make that isn't genuinely appreciated, chips away at that diamond. It dulls its brilliance. It diminishes its value. But you, my dear, are not an infinite resource. Your time, your energy, your emotional capacity are finite. They are non-renewable. And the older we become, the more acutely we understand the brutal truth of this scarcity. This isn't a tragic realization, it is an empowering one. It forces us to become ruthless stewards of our most precious assets. Consider the exiled queen. She was once revered, perhaps even adored, but through circumstance, through betrayal, or through her own naive trust, she was cast out. She does not wallow in self-pity. She does not beg for her throne back. Instead, she observes, she learns, she builds new alliances, she understands the power dynamics that led to her exile, and when she returns, she does so not with tears, but with a sharpened intellect, a clear strategy, and an unshakable will. Her power is not given back to her. She takes it. She reclaims it. This is your archetype now. You are the exiled queen, and it is time to reclaim your throne, not with force against others, but with an unyielding self-governance. This reclamation involves a profound shift in how you view your own value. You are not valuable because of what you do for others. You are valuable because of who you are. Your wisdom, your experience, your resilience, these are the assets that grow with age, that ripen like fine wine. Yet too many women are conditioned to believe their worth diminishes with time, that they become less visible, less relevant. This is another insidious lie designed to keep you seeking validation externally, to keep you performing acts of care to prove your worth. Embrace the strength of maturity, the elegance of silence, the power of observation over incessant chatter. Learn to listen more than you speak, to gather intelligence, to understand the motivations of those around you. Let others reveal their hands while you hold yours close. This strategic silence is not passive, it is active. It is a powerful form of presence that commands respect rather than demands it. It communicates, I am observing, I am assessing, I am not easily swayed. This journey requires a conscious divorce from the emotional manipulation of guilt. Guilt is the ultimate weapon wielded by those who benefit from your caretaking. After all I've done for you, how can you be so selfish? These are not expressions of genuine hurt. They are tactical maneuvers to reestablish your old patterns of voluntary servitude. Recognize them for what they are, attempts to pull you back into the prison you are trying to escape. And then, elegantly, calmly, and without apology, decline to engage. Your path forward lies in cultivating what I call strategic selfishness. This is not the petty, grasping selfishness of a child. This is the enlightened self-interest of a queen who understands that her kingdom, her life, her peace, her well-being, cannot flourish if its ruler is perpetually depleted. Strategic selfishness means making decisions based on what serves your highest good, what aligns with your values, what protects your energy. It means unapologetically saying no to requests that drain you, even if those requests come from people you love. Because if you are consistently running on empty, you have nothing truly meaningful to give anyway. You are simply performing a role, a shell of your former self. The transition will not be without friction. There will be those who resist your newfound boundaries, who resent your independence. This is inevitable. Their resistance is merely proof that your shift is working. It means you are disrupting their comfortable narrative, their established expectations. Let them be uncomfortable. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to yourself, to the sovereign woman you are becoming. This is a pact not of shared grievance, but of shared strength, a pact to dismantle the invisible structures that have held us captive, a pact to cultivate unshakable self-possession, to wield our wisdom with precision, and to live lives defined by our own deliberate choices, not by the default expectations of others. Join a community of women who understand this truth, who are ready to trade their unseen chains for an unbreakable crown. A community of unflinching, elegant, and powerfully sovereign women who are done waiting their turn. Because our turn, my dear, is now. It always was. We just needed to remember how to seize it.